You were a single mother to your children when you were building your career, when you were studying. How did you integrate all the demands of going to school, your career, your childcare, everything?
I have to dedicate that to my mother. She became my sole supporter. And I honestly, from my family, my brother, my sister, I had like total support. I used to tease my mother. I said, Mom, you're my wife. She took care of the children. She was a teacher. My children adore their grandmother, and she's instilled the same values in them. To this day, she calls my son and she'll say, take care of your patients, work hard, you'll be rewarded. And to this day, she wakes up in the morning and she'll say, you know what, I've been so lazy today, I haven't done anything productive. And I tell her, Mom, you're allowed to have a day. So how did I manage all that? You need a good support system. I was very fortunate that I had a mother who was willing to take the time. She treated the children like they were her own. She gave them good values. She gave them a good work ethic. That's very important, a good work ethic and the right attitude. I think I got a lot of support from my mom. I can never say enough about my mother. Like whatever I am today is because of her.
She's the biggest influence in your life, you'd say. Yeah.
And I didn't realize how big until I start talking about it,
Moms do so much, right? More than we appreciate at the time. I think it's later on.
When I look back and I look at how much of an influence she had. And I also don't want to be gender biased here and say dads don't do that.
Right.
My dad, when I was growing up, was the knowledge pillar in my family. He was the one who, my mom once said to me when she was in her teacher training program, she said to her, and she had 3 children at that time. My mom had 3 children when she did her teacher's training. And she said to her professor, I'm sitting here teaching other people's children, and what will happen to my children? And she says to me that the professor said to her, you do the good and good will be done for your children. Your children will be well. Teaching was a noble profession, is a noble profession. Teachers had a lot more respect when my mom was a teacher. The relationships have been transformed, into a new world, new era, basically. And it still keeps coming back to education and good values. So where do we start? At the very bottom, when the kids are young, and it has to start at the family level. Actually, my mom took over when my dad passed away. My dad was the primary knowledge whisperer in my life. And he was extremely supportive. Unfortunately, he died very young, so my mom had to step into the role.
Now, I know, Anju, you're an avid painter, and you've been selling your artwork for donations. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, and how did you discover this passion of yours?
So I actually discovered this passion about 2011, 2012. So it's been 8 years since I've been painting. And of course, when I look at the art that I created, I want to take it back, right? And so abstract art fascinates me. As a programmer, I was very detail-oriented, but as an art form, I didn't have the patience to be, detailed. And if I didn't want to do portraits, if you want a portrait, have a very nice photograph, a different kind of art. So it didn't appeal to me, but color did. Growing up in India, color was big. Big part of my life. I was somehow on YouTube, just browsing through videos, and I found this artist on YouTube in 2012, and she painted effortlessly. It was like free and liberating. And I watched the video and I said, oh, sure, I can do that. I went and bought a canvas and I bought some paints and I started throwing paints like she was. It was a miserable flop. To paint like a child, you have to learn to become a child. So then I approached this artist. She lived in Germany and in Berlin. And I asked her if she did any workshops. And she said, well, I don't any, but I'm planning on it. And once she did, I went to Germany 3 times over 2 years. I spent a whole week immersed in just art. I didn't even go sightseeing or shopping. I went to the art store and bought tons of paint. I thought you could only paint with a brush, but there were so many other tools. So I started painting, and initially I sold some art. I had my first exhibition, I think, like 2014, and everything sold. And so that was encouraging. But like I said, I would probably take back some of the art and give free replacements of my current. But what I found was that just as intense as IT can be, art is just as liberating. And the colors and the formations and what I also enjoyed was that in an abstract painting, everybody sees something different.
Right.
So my art becomes topics of conversation. It's like the face of a woman, right? And I'd say, really? I thought that was a horse. I see a horse, it's a bird, everybody's formation. And then you turn it upside down.
Yeah.
It looks totally different.
Right.
And you put it right side up. So I never sign my art on the front. I always sign it on the back.
Oh, okay.
And because then you have the freedom to change. If you wanted a piece of my art, I wouldn't charge you any money. You would just go make a donation and to your favorite charity, and I will match that. My foundation will match that. And what I get is the pleasure of painting. So this piece is available. If any of your viewers are interested, you can put it like this. You can put it like this. You can put it like this on top, any which way you want. And where do I paint? Right here on my kitchen table. In the middle of the night, when I'm done with all my work, I spend a few hours painting. It's very therapeutic for me. Have a little glass of wine, put some music on, paint.
It's beautiful and such a great cause. So where can people find these paintings?
I do have an Instagram, so occasionally I put stuff up there. And I have a website as well. It's not all art focused, but there is a few pieces, and it hasn't been updated recently because I've been really, really busy doing other stuff. I've been preparing the artwork, but I haven't had the chance to put it up to showcase it. So last year, 2020, I donated to the food bank. Well, last year's series were called the Gratitude series, because every day I woke up during COVID and I just felt this enormous sense of gratitude that I have a job, I have a home. I'm really fortunate to be where I am. This year's is called the Transformation series. So from COVID to the new transformation, to the new normal, because we don't really want to go back to the old normal. We want the good things of the old normal, and we want the good things of the new normal. So this year's is called Transformation series. So you can contact me through my website. It's anjuvirmani.com, or just shoot me a LinkedIn message.
What advice do you have for ambitious leaders who are looking to, be in your shoes one day?
Come talk to me. If you want my role, come talk to me. But basically, network, keep your education up, participate in local organizations of your profession, whether it's finance, whether it's payments, whether it's digital, whatever it is, and be aware of what's happening around you, which is really easy these days because of social media and things like LinkedIn and other ways of being there. So join those associations, know what's going on. I even for the men who I want to say, be like a mother, have your antennas on and a 360-degree views, because mothers can see everything, right? That I actually saw a cartoon that of an optometrist. He was doing a vision exam from the back of a woman's head, from the back of your head, right? Yeah. And I love humor. You have to find humor and be able to disassociate that whatever is happening to you is not personal. People make certain decisions. We say, oh my God, this is personal. He doesn't like me or she doesn't like me. And it's not. Nobody has time to think about you. Only you have time to think about you. So think about you. Invest in yourself. Self-love, self-care, sleep well, eat well, exercise, keep your mind open, and be with people you want to be like. That's what I tell my kids, and that's what I tell young people. And yeah.